That's coming in with a heat index of 110.
I don't believe Rich can hear you.
Well,
what's up, Trey?
Hey, Rich, I hear you just fine. What's going on, man?
What's happening?
Hey, Mark, that was rough, man. That was a rough takeoff there.
Yeah, I mean it was. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Because I can hear Rich.
Yeah,
and the listeners can hear.
I can hear Rich,
and that's what you got. Are you back on?
I can hear Mark.
Yeah, you can't hear me though.
Not through here.
Well, that's weird. If you can hear Mark, but you can't hear me. Well,
we
hope you hear us all. I'm Trey Reid. The other guy talking is Mark Hedrick, and that other man is our buddy Rich Cosgrove, who comes.
What's up, guys?
Comes to hang out with us. You want to talk about trout fishing tonight?
Well,
we probably shouldn't be trout fishing right now. It's too hot.
I shouldn't have been trout fishing.
No, you can trout fish, but it is hot and it's tough on trout. They're not native to Arkansas.
It's tough on old Dad out there, too.
Yeah, well, best for the trout and best for the angler to fish early in the morning and then give yourself and give the fish a rest.
I did go with the commission and did a little fishing the other day, and Marie and I slipped out early.
I saw that. You posted something on the Wild Side Facebook page.
Yeah, we went out. She was dragging a little chatterbait across a little point at about 15 feet, and we'd been out there about 30 minutes, and she caught one pretty quick in that 30-minute time period. I caught, nothing but grass, just typical. She commissioner 1, wild side 0. And then she goes, well, I got to get a haircut, and off we went.
She just wanted, that was an excuse
She's a busy girl.
To leave ahead,
Yeah, and the other
That's
thing,
like the guy you play poker with, and he wins 2 hands in a row. I gotta go. I gotta go get my haircut.
But it was. I know why she had to go get a haircut now. Her new little baby was christened Sunday morning, so she had to.
Congratulations!
So congratulations,
awesome,
Anne-Marie. And I want to congratulate my wife, Trey.
Well, yeah.
On 42 years of marriage with me.
Congratulations to Mark and Cindy Hedrick on 42 years.
Cindy Hedrick, queen of perseverance.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, she is, dude.
I've always said that about her, Mark.
Yeah, I mean,
sainthood, man.
And 42 years. How long you been married, Trey?
24 years.
17 years this time.
So, yeah, I know. And Trey, first time.
Well, I mean, if I add it all together, 29 years, but 24 years that I count.
So I mean, at least I found somebody that, well, I don't know, maybe the day ain't over.
Man, it's like you think, there's still time for you to screw it up, Hedrick.
The day ain't over. You've seen me mess things up many times. But anyway,
congratulations. I don't know. You told me that earlier today. For some reason, I had that. I had that in June or May, but my anniversary is the day after your birthday.
Right.
And my birthday was a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So your anniversary.
Happy birthday, lady.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You were on time. You sent me. You don't remember, Rich, but you did send me.
I always hit you on Facebook.
You did hit.
I didn't Dolomite you this year though.
He's
that was so good. Still one of my favorites.
It is a great.
Rudy Ray Moore, Arkansas boy.
Yeah, Fort Smith.
But Rich is he's just a mini conglomerate. Not only is he a.
What does that mean?
I mean, you've got so many irons in the fire going all the time.
And somehow still finds time to trout fish.
Exactly. I mean, but I guarantee you're in that stream. And you're taking catering calls.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've got my headset on, and I'll fish for a little bit. I'll take notes, and I'll go up to the cabin, and I'll hack out some catering quotes and do some business, go back down and fish all day long. But that's why the last 4 days up on Little Red last week, why they call it fishing.
No doubt.
Well, now last week you were blowing us up though. You were just absolutely blowing us up with all the good fish you were catching.
Even a blind hog can find an acorn every now and then.
Well, we're going to talk to somebody.
It's time for the Trader Bill's Outdoors Fishing Report with locations in Hot Springs and Little Rock. Trader Bill's is your one stop for all things outdoors.
And let's go to the Edwards Food Giant hotline and welcome in our buddy Philip Kastner. Philip, we've been talking about fishing, trout fishing a little bit, but I'm sure you've got a more far-reaching report for us here on the Wild Side this Tuesday evening.
Well, I'm looking toward the future, first of all. So we're going to get a cold front through tomorrow.
Nice.
Good.
Cold
About
front.
time.
Yeah. It's going to drop 10 degrees.
I'll take it, Philip.
No
I'll
doubt.
take it.
I'll take it. I'll take water any way we can get it. So if you're talking about Central Arkansas lakes, you're talking about Hamilton, Washita, DeGray, Grease, and whatever, you're talking about a little bit of runoff in the creeks. And so runoff fishing is spinnerbait fishing, square bill fishing, fluke fishing, whatever you want to throw in the back of a runoff creek, you're welcome to. But the top water bite over the next 3 days is the future, because it's going to drop, 10, 15, maybe 20 degrees, depending on what lake you're fishing. Azara Spook is absolutely on top of the list. It's chugger, whether you throw in a Pop R or a Yellow Magic. Once again, I'm saying a fluke because I've caught a lot of fish on a fluke in runoffs and, on General Lake. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is in topwater fishing a buzzbait, which is a frog.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you know this or not, Stanley Jigs has been bought by a company called GSM, and they've renamed it called Frog Factory.
Really?
A rivet is a deadly topwater bait.
It's a
really
poison
is.
bait. It's poison. They just can't stand it.
They can't stand it. It doesn't matter whether you're on the river or a lake or whatever it is. It's just a great topwater bait to fish. So any of those things that are coming up with this little rain event we got coming up a few days, both Hot Springs and Little Rock has a great selection of all of it.
I got to tell you, Philip, there were folks that in 10, 12, 13 years ago were just smoking the fish in these tournaments, and nobody know how they were catching them. They said, they're catching them on a frog. Well, they're catching them on a rivet. Everybody's going out. And it was just a secret bait for a long time.
Well, but they were also throwing it on a toad toter.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you're throwing a G-Man toad toter or Black, Jamie Black has got a great toad toter frame. There's a local guy, Abreu, that's making a great toad toter frame.
Danny Arballo builds a great one. You're right.
And they're putting a frog of some kind on this buzzbait frame, and you can catch a lot of fish doing it.
Well, I think Jamie Black, some of these guys around here saw the how many fish those toad toters, the weed whackers, all that sort of stuff were catching. And dude, some of the best buzzbaits come out of Arkansas, I think.
They really do. And it's all about holding that frog on that frame so that you don't have to, buy 100 different frogs.
Right.
I mean, the frame does all the work.
Well, that means you don't sell as many frogs, though, Philip.
Well, I sell more frames because they
yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Hey, Philip, real quick, we got about a minute, but tell us how your Taiga event went.
It went great. We were at Brady Mountain, and lots and lots of people showed up. We showed a great selection of ATX and Taiga towboats. We showed a great selection of Godfrey barges that were there. Trader Bill's selection of boats and barges is incredible. Anything
Second to
you
none.
might need, we'll be glad to help you.
Thanks, Philip.
Philip, we appreciate you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Good night.
See ya.
That's Philip Kastner on the Edwards Food Giant Hotline with this week's Trader Bill's Outdoors Fishing Report. Heard only here on the Wild Side. Did you know that Jim Harris at Arkansas Game and Fish listens to the podcast version of our show just to get Philip's report and include it in the weekly fishing report?
Nice. No, well, if he wants to call you or me, Trey. We can give him info
we can
at
help
all.
him out. More Wild Side coming up. Stick
Trader
around.
Bill's Outdoors is the one-stop shop for all your fishing and boating needs. They carry Vexus bass boats, Godfrey pontoons, and Taiga surf, wake, and ski boats. Their marine department also features parts and accessories from most boat manufacturers. And if something goes wrong with your boat, their service department is ready to get you back in the game with quality repairs and friendly service. Trader Bill's Outdoors, 1530 Albert Pike in Hot Springs and 12006 I-30 Frontage Road in Little Rock, where great fishing and boating began.
All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros has been serving the community for more than 15 years. Locally owned and operated, we offer a wide range of name brand tires, wheels, and automotive service you can trust, so your dollars stay in our community. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, where customers are treated like family. Service like your daddy used to get. Visit in-store at one of our 2 locations or shop for tires and service online at allabouttireandbrake.com.
Fly rods, from personal hobby to family passion to family business. That's Fish On Custom Rods. Unique custom fly rods are the namesake, but Fish On Custom Rods also carries premium brands like Thomas & Thomas, Able, Sims, Umpqua, and Airflow. Fish On's commitment to the fishing lifestyle goes beyond the water. Unique artisan wooden charcuterie and cutting boards made right here in Arkansas, outdoor art, and so much more. Check them out at the Painted Tree Marketplace on Chenal or at fishoncustomrods.com.
Listen to Out of Bounds every day to hear about what's trending on social media and whether listeners agree or disagree. Engaging conversations about engaging topics. Sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansans with great tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA. That's 833-886-5282. Call today.
Injured? Let's talk about getting help now.
Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888.
Whether injured at night, on a weekend, or a holiday,
Dial 8 for Rainwater, Holds, and Sexton.
888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See shelter agent Vic Seidenschwartz in Carlisle, Lawrence Forrester in Cabot, or Hayden Strickland in Sherwood.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Baker, president and publisher of AY Media Group here in Arkansas. We publish 2 of the biggest and most widely read magazines in the entire state, AY Magazine and Arkansas Money and Politics. At AY and Arkansas Money and Politics, we keep you up to date on all the news you need to know and the stories you want to hear. Visit us online at aymag.com and armoneyandpolitics.com to see for yourself. Now, more than ever, it is important to be mindful of where you get your news and support your local businesses. With AY Media Group, you get the best of both worlds.
Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group is the leader in the state in managing hotel properties. From El Dorado to Jonesboro to Fayetteville to Kansas City and back home in Little Rock, you will find a Beechwood Pinnacle managed hotel property. Are you looking for a weekend staycation? Book the Hilton Garden Inn located on Rock Street and enjoy the Agassi 7-rooftop bar with fantastic views of the Little Rock skyline. Open Sunday through Thursday evenings from 4 to 11 and Friday and Saturday from 5 to midnight. Find them on the web at bphotels.com. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group.
Tap Time with Bryce Nall and Scott Parton, presented by New Province Brewing, returns this Thursday at 7. Tap Time is Little Rock's premier radio show for beer lovers by beer lovers. Tap Time Thursday from 7 till 8 on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the Edwards Food Giant Studios.
Welcome back to the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz.
You're back on the Wild Side. Trey Reid and Mark Hedrick with you. And Damon Poole is back in the control room after a 2-week vacation.
Have you seen the hat he's wearing?
Quiet. How can I miss it? It sits 4 inches off of his head.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got. I mean, listen, Damon.
What is that? A dolphin on your hat, Damon? What is that?
That's a whole hog.
That is a
it's
pig.
a pig.
Yes.
It's a flying pig on the hat.
Rich, do you have a larger size?
The only thing larger than that we could put on Damon's head was fit as a honey ham. I mean, that would be about the only thing Rich could bring down to put on it. A whole ham.
That is the definitive flying pig, whole hog North Little Rock. I swear, with sportswear, it competes with the Puma any day.
Oh yeah, and
Puma ever reached out about copyright infringement there on that.
We're hunkering down. We're anticipating.
You found what, David?
The strap in the back, and we have a.
Oh, now there we go.
We
now it's looking good. Looking good. A whole hog North Little Rock hat from our buddy Rich Cosgrove, who joins us here in the Buzz studio tonight. We're going to talk a little trout fishing. We're just going to have fun. We're just going to talk. We were talking during the break.
Yeah, about fishing.
Frogs, and Philip Kastner was talking about a Stanley Ribbit, been bought by a new company, but they call their company the Frog Factory now.
Yeah.
We were talking about, Zoom has the horny toad. Rich was asking us about these hard or solid-bodied plastic frogs, unlike the Spro or whatever that that'll float. These sink, and Mark, Damon will get it fixed. It's okay. Well, if you were watching on the live stream, you're not anymore. It looks like Mark. But you mentioned that Graves Hertzberger used to catch some fish by employing a slightly different tactic with that,
Graves
like horny toad or ribbit frog.
Yeah, he used to take a horny toad, Zoom horny toad, and he would at night, where a lot of people were throwing black spiders down the bank, they have a lot of vibration. Graves would, and I probably shouldn't be telling this, I'm giving away his secrets, but Graves is a heck of a fisherman, as well as a heck of an otolaryngologist.
Well, actually, he cut a hole in my sinus in 2013.
Did he really?
Job.
Did he find anything?
Yeah. Same as always.
Anyway, Graves, great guy. Anyway, he would take the horny toad and swim it off the bottom with a weighted belly, and he'd catch the heck out of fish.
And you mentioned that, and I remember fishing some of the irrigation reservoirs back in the early 2000s around Stuttgart. I was doing that a lot back then, and I had some similar success. You cast out and it was sort of a serendipitous discovery. I make a cast out, backlash, and so my frog is slowly sinking. After I pick out my backlash, pick it back up, a couple of cranks, boom,
surprise!
There he is. So a frog is not just a topwater bait.
Well, the crazy thing about that is, too, they'll pick that frog up and swim with it. So a lot of times you've thrown straight out in front of you, and you're slowly reeling it back, and then you look up, and your line's at a 90-degree angle over there.
May I add one technical note here?
Yes.
The stream is live, and even though that screen has changed in your room, I'm looking at it.
Well, very good. I don't need to see any more of Rich and Mark and myself than I already do right here live and in person.
You guys are looking good tonight. I don't know why you would say that.
Well, and Damon, it might be Damon on the fourth camera. That might have blown the camera when he adjusted that hat.
That had to do it.
But that was an interesting thing though. Top water, and if we get that rain, let me tell you something. Rain hits the lake, start oxygenating the lake. You get water flowing in, those fish start moving toward the banks a little bit. Now it's hot, so they may not get, but like Scott Rook always used to say, start out shallow and move deep, see where they are.
Switching gears a little bit, Rich, you like to trout fish. We were talking in the green room before the show. When was the last time you were on the water up on the Little Red?
We spent Wednesday through Saturday up on the Little Red, and it was slow.
It was tough.
It was
But
tough.
you said there was some water running.
Yeah, they were running water, running generators. The water was great.
Yeah.
Well, it was much needed.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
it was.
Yeah, they've belonged to this Friends of the Little Red River on Facebook, and people are talking about the water being above 68 degrees, and careful, the fish are going to die. And I think probably Game and Fish Corps of Engineers and Southwest Power got together and ran a little water and hopefully saved some fish.
Well, the rain we got didn't hurt.
No, that was nice.
But we've had some guides and some fishermen that really fish the Little Red a lot. They've really pushed for a minimum flow up there, kind of like you do on the White.
Right.
It's just, you got to go jump through a lot of hoops to get that done, and there's been a lot of
like literally an act of Congress, and then a lot of negotiations.
I keep
back and
thinking
forth.
these guys play golf together and know each other, or something like that. I go, hey Bob, could we run a little bit of water down there? Or?
No, to that point, Rich. I mean, and this is one of the reasons we wanted to get you on, was to kind of have some of this discussion about trout water in Arkansas. But Game and Fish, and there are other entities out there, obviously, like and I'm not saying like Game and Fish is actually doing the actual measurements, but ADEQ and others monitor nutrient loads and dissolved oxygen content and water temperature, and obviously that happens on our trout streams and on the Little Red River. And,
right.
You know, ultimately, the Corps and Southwestern Power control that water, though.
Absolutely.
The game and fish has no control over that water.
I would like to
we
think.
control the fish in it, but not the water itself.
But again, I would like to think that there are conversations going on.
There are, but there's also operating manuals that entities have to follow and agreements and things like that.
It's not as easy as throwing a pork butt on a rotisserie and setting it free. It's just not. I mean,
drinking beer and making sure the smoker stays at 210 degrees.
Job, guys. Hey.
It's tough.
It's
very tough.
It's a tough job, and we're glad you're doing it.
I'm glad you're glad, my friend.
We're a little disappointed that there's no smell of barbecue in the studio tonight, but
he kind of forgot. Rich kind of forgot.
I don't know. Hey, stick around. More Wild Side coming up right after this break.
Spring and summer may be behind us, but that doesn't mean there's not a good reason to get out to Lake Maumelle to enjoy a day on the water. Trey Reid here from the Wild Side to tell you about West Rock Landing. Our friends at West Rock have everything you need to enjoy a day on the lake. Whether you're fishing for bass or crappie or just taking in the amazing views of the Ouachita Mountains, West Rock offers bait, tackle, boat rentals, and so much more. Check them out at westrocklanding.com or go see them just a few miles west of Little Rock on Highway 10. West Rock Landing, your gateway to Lake Maumelle.
Hey folks, Mark Hedrick here to tell you about Battery Outfitters in North Little Rock. They're here to serve your battery needs, from cell phones to hearing aids to power tools. And when it comes to service, Battery Outfitters is second to none. Got a problem with your truck or your boat battery? Just pull in at 5915 JFK Boulevard and the Battery Outfitters crew will handle the rest. And don't forget to ask about Key Fob Friday and Watch Battery Saturday. You'll be glad you did. Battery Outfitters, 501-537-4990 for all your battery needs.
I'm Trey Reid from the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz, and when I'm looking for a great home-cooked lunch on the fly, my go-to spot is the deli at my neighborhood Edwards Food Giant. There's always a great selection of delicious meats and vegetables, fresh from the kitchen and served with a smile by the friendly folks behind the deli counter. You'll get heaping portions with cornbread or a dinner roll and a drink to wash it down, all for under $9. For home cooking without the hassle of washing dishes, go see our friends at Edwards Food Giant.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. Our team of experts can become your outsourced IT department, solving problems even before you know about them. We provide and maintain everything from servers and network infrastructure to printers and digital copiers. As a family business with over 80 years of history in Little Rock, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. If you're ready to get your IT in order, visit captg.com and sign up for a free consultation.
Clark Power presents Countdown to Kickoff, Friday, July 26th at the Hall. Get a preview of the upcoming Razorback football season with current players Isaiah Satania, Luke Haas, and Landon Jackson. Plus, we'll celebrate the 25th anniversary of the '99 Tennessee Redemption game with Clint Sterner, Anthony Lucas, and Houston Nutt. Tickets are on sale now at littlerockhall.com. Countdown to Kickoff presented by Clark Power with Oaklawn Sports, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Chris Crane Hyundai, Genesis of Conway, Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, Petty Jean Meats, and Fleet Management Services. Justin Aker for CertaPro Painters, and if you're trying to breathe a little life into your home this summertime, there's no better way than with a fresh coat of paint. CertaPro Painters knows how important your home is to you. It is your castle. You might as well get a new paint job on it, inside or outside. It'll make all the difference in the world. Each CertaPro Painters business is locally owned and operated. These are folks who live in your neighborhood, and they want your castle to look great. CertaPro Painters offers free estimates and professional painting, all at the right price. All you need to do to schedule your free estimate online is go to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
In a blink of the eye, and just like that, it's hot and the summer is already halfway over. This is Pat Bradley reminding you that Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union Summertime Auto Loan Special ends at the end of summer, so don't delay. Rates as low as 1.99%, no payments for 90 days, and up to 84 months financing. Offer valid on 23 and 24 models for new purchase or refinance of your current auto loan. Apply online at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties.
Join 103.7 The Buzz as First Security Bank presents coverage of the 2024 SEC Media Days. David Basil and Randy Rainwater will be in Dallas with the latest news, interviews, and highlights. Brought to you in part by Kaufman by Design West, UAMS Health, Beachwood Pinnacle Hotels, and Bet Saracen. And be sure to watch 103.7 The Buzz social media for live videos, pictures, and much more. It's 103.7 The Buzz, live from SEC Media Days, presented by First Security Bank.
The Wild Side Outdoor Report is brought to you by West Rock Landing, your gateway to fishing and fun on Lake Maumelle.
Well, Trey, the West Rock Landing at Lake Maumelle Tuesday night tournament went off without a hitch last week. First place, Matt Hedrick and Brandon Crane with 1470. They had 5 fish, all
Matt
5 alive. He was on them.
That's good.
Second with a big bass of 549. I think this is their third row they've had a 5-pounder. Andrew and Woolley and Cameron Nestorenkos, they've been on some nice fish. They had 1430, 5 fish, 5 alive. Vaughn Greenway and Daniel Romine. Vaughn's in his freshman year at TCU, and Daniel, I believe, is a junior in high school. They came in at 1298. 5 alive. And
another tight contest there.
Yeah, and even fourth place, Brent and Riley Scott had 12-17 for 4. So it paid it for about 25, 27
Is anybody wearing their Trader Bill's merch?
Yes, there was people, and they got them a $25 gift certificate from Trader Bill's as well. And a little sad note, Sam Drennan, a guy that fished those tournaments out there and had a little boat trouble. He'd fished He'd been working on his boat a little bit, and Sam he'd come out to cheer the guys on a lot of times, 10 o'clock to the way in, and fished out there a lot. He passed away. Sam was younger than I am, and loved fishing and was loved those. So he fished some of the Tuesday night tournaments. So we want to wish condolences to Sam and his family. I got a chance to talk to Sam. Hung around out there. Me and Brad LeCue and my wife and Chelsea all talked to him one night till about 12:30 on a Tuesday night, or probably 12, and then 2 days later he's gone. So you never know. So anyway, sad to see him go. Now, Trey, I told you I fished with Commish.
I hate it when his things start with Trey, because he's setting up something. He's setting me up to fall down or to push me down, more likely, Rich.
He needs that.
But I was something something we've left out that I don't know how we've missed this unless you said it and I just wasn't paying attention to you.
Well, that happens quite frequently, I'm going to go with that.
Call in and give us the deets.
That's what happened.
But Logan Wilson, who shoots out of University of Ozarks, wins gold at 2024 Hillsdale Para-Trap World Cup.
Wow.
And I know you know a lot about this, and
I don't know a lot about it, but Deke Whitback at the Arkansas Game and Fish Foundation, who's been a regular guest on our show, the more reputable of the Whitback brothers.
Easy, Tiger.
I think they're both reputable.
I'm teasing Jack. Come on,
Jack's just a little quicker. You know what I mean? He's just a little quicker.
Oh boy, I kid, Jack. I kid. But Deke was telling me about this young man who's going to.
I think they raised like $10,000 for him.
Yeah, there's actually going to be. We're going to acknowledge him. I'll be emceeing along with Steve Wildman Wilson the Hall of Fame banquet on August 24th. And Deke just mentioned to me last Monday, he was down at the announcement of the new commissioner at the Nature Center and said we need to. It's like we're going to do something about this. We're going to add this to the program at the Hall of Fame to recognize this young man.
And should be. He's one step closer to the Paracon.
I think if he wins the next event, he could be competing for the U.S. in the Paralympics.
So congratulations, and I also my actually nephew called the other day wanting to know about what kind of baits to use, and so we talked a little bit about that, but I wanted just to give him a little shout out that even though all the baits I told him, the swim baits and what have you, he needs to try, and the hooks, they call him trash fish for a reason. So I don't care what you throw, Brian. You ain't gonna catch a game fish. So trash fish, have at it, dude. I told him that I'd and one other thing that we've talked about, Trey, and it was an outdoor report that it's kind of a keeper call, but
we'll save it for keepers and calls.
I've got a bunch of keepers and calls. Texas Parks and Wildlife. Remember they said they went out to the. They said that most of the $100,000 worth of equipment seized at the Bass Fishing Derby in East Texas, which was the Sealy Big Bass.
It was the Sealy Big Bass on Sam Rayburn. Yeah, we reported on this. That they recovered $100,000 worth of stolen stuff.
Now they're saying that apparently not all that was stolen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so they confiscated a lot. And here's what happened. And this is why it's important that you have serial numbers on your stuff. A lot of these, what happened is it had to do with the appearance of boats or motor serial numbers either being removed or not visible. So if that happens, they're going to confiscate your stuff because they want you to prove it's yours.
Well, I know,
they released most of it after it was proven not stolen. They didn't say they released all of it, but they released most.
Game and Fish game wardens will tell you, like, that's one of the buyer beware things when you're because they get all kinds of calls about hull identification numbers missing, or if I don't have one, and
hey, I got a great graph. It's a 10,000
how do I register my boat? And so if it doesn't have serial numbers on it, I mean it's not
buyer
good.
Beware.
Yeah.
Buyer beware. So anyway. A lot of that was returned.
Well, that's good to know that it was not stolen
What's
merchandise.
really good is they from what I understand, checked over 300 boats, and I can't remember how many trailers and motors they checked, but that's good to do that every now and then. And like I say, there's no lesson like a boat lesson. Next time you'll make sure you got your stuff. So that's it. West Rock Landing at Lake Maumelle outdoor report.
Well, thank you, Mark. Good stuff. I want to get back to talking with Rich a little bit about trout fishing here. Now, Rich, you said people are concerned about as the water temperature gets up. We talked about there's only so much Game and Fish can do. We can plead with the Corps and Southwestern Power to turn some water on, but they don't want to. They don't have to.
That's true.
So that fish water. But the other thing that I tell people to remember, we talked about this in the green room, is like our rainbow trout fishery is a put and take.
I wasn't
going
to bring that up. I didn't know if you wanted to touch that or not.
No, I do. I mean, and of course, the little red is known for its wild brown trout, and that is a concern when these water temperatures come up. But we've also got to remember, trout aren't native to Arkansas.
That's right.
They're only here because of that cold water being released from the dam. Now, you would think that, if the feds are going to mitigate the loss of warm water fisheries by creating this cold water trout fishery, that they would provide the cold water that those trout need.
By the way, I also might mention that Bull Shoals is not a native lake to Arkansas. It was dammed up, and
the only natural lakes in Arkansas are oxbow lakes.
That's right. So
the only one.
So
not another one.
So
it's not an oxbow, it's not a natural lake.
So these lakes, the things that live in these lakes, people say, don't put things in the lakes that aren't natural. Well, the lakes ain't natural. so you got there's trout we have, there's also enjoy your fisheries, everybody. That's all I'm saying. Go out and catch what you like to catch.
I mean, look, I'm a smallmouth guy, but I don't hate a trout. I talked to the Arkansas fly fishers last night about saltwater fishing.
Tell about that.
It was great, man. Our
buddy Joey Mall from
Fish On Custom Rods, the advertiser here on the show, was there last night. Got to visit with Joey. There was a lot of familiar faces in the room, and it was great, man. The only thing, I show up and it says 6 o'clock on the website, so I show up about 5 till, and it said another whole hog, wink, wink, but anyway, so
did you get barbecue last night?
I did. Damn good thing I did, huh?
Bam!
Oh,
There you go. That's
so anyway,
Thanks, guys.
I go. Where's Rich going? Hey, you left Nancy. No, I go and I order a sandwich and a beer and it's in the back meeting room there, and I walk in. Holy crap, man! The room's full of people, and they're like, "Well, you're here," and I'm like, "Yes, at 6 o'clock. I'm on time." But I guess, the unwritten, the italicized text and 4-point font that I didn't see said show up at 5:30 to eat, and then the program starts at 6.
Everybody wants a piece of you, Trey.
Well,
they want to talk. They want to talk to you.
Clamoring
they
for
want to
Trey.
hobnob. They want to shake your hand. They want to.
None of that. None of that is true at all, but it was a fantastic group. I did a saltwater fly fishing presentation, lots of great questions. It was.
Let me ask you one thing.
Arkansas Fly Fishers is really a fantastic group.
Were there anybody?
Reason we had brown trout.
Was there anybody there asking where I was or anything, Trey?
They did ask about you. They're like, where's that other guy from the wild side?
Yeah, both of them.
Where's old what's his name?
Oh,
well,
boy.
I wish I could have been there. I mean, I know you love trout fishing. Your passion's trout fishing.
No, my passion is saltwater fishing.
Yeah, saltwater, and it shows when you're in a boat with me. But no, I know you love it. I wish I could have been there. I'm sorry I wasn't, but
well, I wish you could have been there too.
Is it on YouTube?
Is it on YouTube? No, it's not. But I have the presentation. How about I just come over and I'll just do it?
That'd be great.
Like for you and Cindy for your anniversary.
Bring some barbecue.
I'll bring some whole hog North Little Rock barbecue. We got to take a break. More Wild Side coming up.
I'm Mark Hedrick from the Wild Side here on 103.7 The Buzz. You probably already know Edwards Food Giant as the meat people. And when I'm looking to throw a steak on the grill, my first stop is the incredible meat counter at Edwards Food Giant. Ribeyes, fillets, strips, T-bones, and porterhouses. Whatever your favorite cut, you'll find the best selection of certified Angus beef at Edwards Food Giant. Their prices are great, with weekly specials that will make your next steak dinner as affordable as it is tasty. Go see them today. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people.
If you're a fly fisher and outdoor enthusiast who can't get enough, Fish On Custom Rods shares your focus. Fish On started out crafting custom rods with beautiful hand-turned wooden reel seats, but their commitment to quality artisan products and the outdoor lifestyle has turned a family passion into much more. Thomas & Thomas fly rods, Able reels, unique custom rods, and incredible handmade artisan wood products like charcuterie boards. Celebrate the fly fishing life with gear and gifts from Fish On Custom Rods. Learn more at FishOnCustomRods.com. Trader Bill's Outdoors has the largest fishing tackle selection in the region, including the newest lures and the newest colors, as well as a wide selection of locally made lures that are proven winners on Arkansas lakes and streams. They also carry top-of-the-line rods and reels by the industry's leading companies, and they employ local anglers who are always prepared to answer your questions and set you on the path to success. Trader Bill's Outdoors, 1530 Albert Pike in Hot Springs and 12006 I-30 Frontage Road in Little Rock.
Hey folks, Ethan Bates here. Some may know me as a Conference USA Player of the Year, but most know me as a spokesman for HJ Trailer Sales in Hot Springs. Anything from customizing any trailer however you want to handling all repairs. HJ Trailer Sales has always provided the best service, and most importantly, they make you feel like family. I'm a Hot Springs guy, so take it from me. HJ Trailer Sales wants to be your local hometown trailer store. Check them out today at hjtrailersales.com or on Facebook.
Summer is the perfect time to get engaged, and I wouldn't go anywhere but Sissy's Log Cabin to find the perfect ring. Whatever you're looking for, I promise they have it. Sissy's Log Cabin is home to one of the largest loose diamond and engagement ring selections in the Mid-South. There, you'll find rings in every style, at every price point. Whether you want to shop popular designers like Rahamanov diamonds, or looking for a one-of-a-kind vintage ring, or want to create your own custom design, Sissy's can make it happen. They also have incredible financing options that put even the most dream-worthy rings within reach. Of course, what really sets Sissy's Log Cabin above the rest is Sissy's promise of unmatched quality, superior service, and brilliant natural diamonds. It's truly the foundation of the Sissy's experience, which you won't find anywhere else. Ready to find a spectacular engagement ring? Shop online at sissyslogcabin.com.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agents Caleb Green or Brian Kress in North Little Rock today.
At Southern Floor Coating, coatings are all they do, and they won't be beat on price. Factory-trained installers using the purest form of polyurea with UV stability for all your outside projects. When you call, you'll talk with a professional interested in your project, not a voicemail. Don't trust a fly-by-night company that may not be in business next year. Transform your patio, porch, or pool deck and call the real pros at Southern Floor Coating. 501-402-4912 or take a look at southernfloorcoating.com.
I'm a real wild one. Wild one. Wild one. Wild one. It's time for this week's Keepers and Calls, presented by Battery Outfitters. Sometimes you keep them, sometimes you throw them back. But when it comes to your battery needs, the service and selection at Battery Outfitters are always keepers.
Well, Trey, I'll start out with one here that about a man trying to smuggle 104 snakes.
Oh, no. I like the direction this is going.
Around the Fusion Pass.
Cindy, are you listening to this?
It's a land crossing between Hong Kong and Shenzhen in South China. During inspections, authorities found 6 sealed canvas bags, not to mention a bunch of Ziploc baggies with reptiles in them, milk snakes, rat snakes, all this sort of stuff, in his pants.
Oh,
okay. There's a joke there.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, there's a joke there.
Make your own joke up, listeners.
Anyway, he also
pretty one of the easier ones that we've set up on a tee for you today.
Yeah, but anyway, make your jokes up at home. But many species are non-native, and they're especially non-native to your pants. But
I'll give you that was a good one, Hedrick.
and they were illegal. Now,
the real joke is sitting there in that second chair.
That hurt me. If I was sensitive, that would really hurt, Damon. But I'm not wearing that hat on top of my head. But anyway,
he's adjusted. He's adjusted.
Anyway, they said that he was legally responsible for those snakes, and now it comes out of China. So they said he's legally responsible without specifying the punishment. So. Who knows what'll happen? Maybe they'll make him put that panda outfit on.
He's already dead.
Yeah, he might.
They'll never see him again.
Or he's got to play the monkey boy in the mountains or whatever.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's his punishment for bringing illegal wildlife in. Now you have to portray wildlife.
That's right. You have to be the monkey boy. So anyway, that's one of my culls.
All right, I got a keeper for you here, Mark. Weekend tournament angler from Pennsylvania goes up to Cayuga Lake in New York, going to do some practice. This was a couple of weeks ago. Oh, no, I'm sorry, just last week, July 11th. Yeah. Goes to a spot on Cayuga where he remembered Greg Hackney, Star City native, now from Gonzales, Louisiana, in a BASS event, had won the tournament where a creek comes in. He throws his wacky rig Cinco out. 12.35 pound largemouth.
Yeah. That's big for up there too.
Oh, it's huge for up there. Cayuga.
It's a state record.
Oh, it is what I'm saying. It's a new state record in New York, and we're in the process of being certified. It was weighed on a certified scale, but as they do with these things, they got to make sure the scale's weighing properly. So state record largemouth.
I believe they're in China. They may be certifying this guy that we just talked to. I'm not real sure, but
absolutely.
I got another one here. Let me just ask you, Trey, Rich, when somebody mentions the word plague, what does that do to you? I mean, doesn't make you feel warm and fuzzy.
Puts a ripple in my karma.
It does put a little ripple.
Nice.
I like that.
Well played, Rich.
Yeah. Well, a rare case of plague has been confirmed in Colorado.
Oh yeah, they're in prairie dogs.
Yeah. So it's caused by a bacteria, Yersinia pestis.
I knew it.
Which anytime you get, if it has pestis in it, it's bad stuff.
I think you had a case of that Yersinia pestis one time.
Well, I did, but if you rub pesto sauce on it, it goes away. Anyway, it's transmitted by fleas. It took a lot of people out during the Middle Ages, as you well know. I mean, millions of Europeans
Not
died.
many of us remember that like you do, Mark.
No.
He even had one of those funny masks.
Yeah. But millions of people died in Europe, and it's best known as the Black Death. And so anytime you use plague, Black Death, I'd say that's a cull.
Yeah, it's a call.
So
is it on Rocky Mountain Arsenal, the grounds of the former Rocky Mountain Arsenal?
I have no idea, right? It circulates naturally among rodents like prairie dogs, mice, stuff like that, and rarely affects humans today, according to the CDC. And anyway, won't go there. But source of the infection is under investigation, and if you develop symptoms.
Was this a person they found it in?
Yeah, a person they found.
Oh, so I didn't realize that's what I missed that part. I wasn't listening completely.
Well, that's okay.
Mark,
That's okay. Well, you had
turnabout is fair play.
You had such a good one a minute ago. I mean, you were still thinking about yours, but this is the part that gets me. If you have symptoms of the infection, seek medical advice immediately.
Hey, what great advice!
And here's the real kicker. Plague vaccines are in development, but not to be commercially available in the immediate future.
So hang around.
So if you get the plague, you better hope it's real slow.
It's a light case of it, maybe.
Maybe it's the gray plague.
I know about this because you mentioned during the break, my son, Chase, lives in Denver, and he lives in a different area of town now, but for a while he was kind of on the east side, and I think it was Rocky Mountain Depot. It's a former federal government arsenal facility, Department of Defense facility, and there are signs everywhere. I mean, it's like it's open, but he wouldn't walk his dog through there because it was the plague had been identified in these prairie dogs there.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, so
the
plague's nothing to mess around with.
Yeah,
I've always said that.
Yeah.
I got another quick call. Rich, we've been talking about the hot water temperatures and the trout fishing, and encourage people to do their fishing early in the morning or progress closer toward the dam where the water's naturally going to be colder, hasn't had time to warm up after being released from that lower level of the lake.
That's right.
But just this week, officials in Wyoming and Montana have, I believe this is actually the Montana portion of the park, but Yellowstone National Park closed fishing in their rivers because of the high heat. They've been having the same heat we've been having. It's a lot drier out there, but water temperatures got up above 68. So the Madison, the Firehole, and some other tributaries closed out there.
Well, a little something to dovetail off that. We talked about California's current record-breaking heat waves earlier, Trey. During the first 9 days of July, 3,392 cubic feet per second of water, or about 2.2 billion gallons of water, turned into vapor and floated away in the atmosphere off the man-made Lake Shasta. Just during one day, they say July 3rd, 288.8 millions of gallons of water evaporated alone. So, I mean, that's a ton of – and they extrapolate that by, I'm sure, getting a barrel of water, putting it on the bank, watch how much goes down, then they extrapolate that. And that's a big word.
I want to get one more keeper in. This is something of local interest, and before we hit this next break, we'll wrap things up after that. Just a little potpourri of fishing talk. But, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission had this conservation incentive program that launched in January, and legislature set aside, I want to say it was about $13 million, I think is what it was, roughly, for various practices, controlling feral hogs. And a lot of them are habitat-focused, prescribed fire. But there's another one, private water, public access to private waters. So landowners who are willing to let people come in on their private pond or river access in some cases, Game and Fish is going to operate this under a permit system, much like the waterfowl rice fields. Or so you go to agfc.com/licensing, and you can apply for it just like you apply for WMA deer permits or whatever. So really, really cool.
Be a neat deal to have.
Yeah, really cool, neat access, expanding access to waterways in Arkansas.
Clean up if you go to somebody.
We got to take a quick break. Last segment of the Wild Side coming up. You stick around.
All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros has been serving the community for more than 15 15 years. Locally owned and operated, we offer a wide range of name brand tires, wheels, and automotive service you can trust, so your dollars stay in our community. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, where customers are treated like family. Service like your daddy used to get. Visit in-store at one of our 2 locations or shop for tires and service online at allabouttireandbrake.com.
Mark Hedrick here from the Wild Side to tell you about our friends at West Rock Landing on Lake Maumelle. I've been fishing Maumelle for decades, and even though I've learned a few things about catching fish on the lake through the years, I've also learned that it all starts at West Rock Landing. If you're looking for a place to hold your next bass tournament, our friends at West Rock are ready to help you take care of the details. Their covered deck is perfect for weigh-ins. They can also set you up with a boat rental for a day of fishing or a day of just enjoying the views and the area's wildlife. Go see them today. West Rock Landing, your gateway to Lake Maumelle.
It's time to hit the lakes and rivers, but before you back that boat into the water, stop by Battery Outfitters in North Little Rock, because the boat ramp is a bad place to discover a dead battery. Stephen Heron and the crew will take care of you like family and make sure you are charged up and ready to roll before you make the first cast. Bad batteries take your fish finder out of the equation, and you can't stay on the fish if your trolling motor won't turn. So take charge of your fishing fortunes with a trip to Battery Outfitters, 5915 JFK Boulevard.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse on 65th and University has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has it. Like step bars, bed covers, toolboxes, and ladder racks, as well as gooseneck, fifth wheel hitches, and drop hitches. All this and more can be found at Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, a WeatherTech Diamond dealer, 501-568-0040, or online at arkansastruck.com. And ask about the all-new RSI Smart Cap.
Had a devastating knee injury, tore my ACL, tore my PCL, shredded my medial meniscus, and had an initial surgery. That really didn't hold. Had another follow-up surgery around 8 years later. That didn't work, and I didn't want to undergo another surgical procedure.
Enough with the surgeries. They didn't ease the pain, and recovery was brutal. Carmen heard about another treatment for pain relief, the non-invasive regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
I simply figured, heck, I'm going to pick up the phone and call QC Kinetics, and since I've been treated, my quality of life has dramatically gotten better, and I can't thank QC Kinetics enough.
These are the nation's leaders in regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics uses the body's own healing components to help provide relief and functionality.
10 months ago, I had difficulty walking up and down a flight of steps. Now I can do just about anything I desire. I'm back to the old me.
If you have joint pain, before you consider surgery, call QC Kinetics. The consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
On your way to the Little Rock Airport, business travelers park fast at Expressway Airport parking. As you park, our shuttle picks you up, and a 60-second ride later, you're at the airport. Download our app and earn rewards. Simply scan the virtual gate pass to enter and scan again to exit. No waiting, and your receipt is emailed to you. Pay less than municipal airport parking at Expressway Airport parking, left of the airport entrance, next to the Comfort Inn.
The boys are back in town.
Saline County, the boys are indeed back in town. That's right, David and Roger will be broadcasting live this Friday morning from inside the Summerwood Sports Complex in Bryant, which is also the site for the Real Deal in the Rock Summer Basketball Tournament. So tune in to get all the latest information about the Summerwood Sports Complex and how you can host your next tournament, practice, or even birthday parties as well. It all happens this Friday morning on Morning Mayhem.
Welcome back to the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz. It's the All About Tire and Brake Tip of the Week. All About Tire and Brake, because you deserve hassle-free service.
All right. It's time for your All About Tire and Brake Tip of the Week.
I'm taking notes.
Rich kind of was picking at me during one of the breaks and wanted me to give, I mentioned smallmouth, and he wanted me to give like a secret, what was one of my secrets for smallmouth. So I'm going to give that as our All About Tire and Brake Tip of the Week.
Nice.
Under the condition, however, that you give us your best bait for trout on the Little Red River. I mean, do we have a deal?
Easy. Yeah, got this.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So it is no secret. We talk about it. I do a lot of fly fishing, but I'm going to give you a conventional tackle tip. When you got your spinning rod out there, your 6 or 8 pound fluorocarbon line. These are all tips I'm giving, by the way. I'm just sort of disguising them as part of my delivery here.
I love that.
I usually use my go-to smallmouth bait is any kind of 4-inch like Zoom finesse worm, a Zoom ultra vibe speed crawl. I use a lot of Zoom products, and they got to be one color, watermelon red. But here's my secret: there is a bait color that Zoom makes. You could only get it at Walmart. You know, they make some certain colors for only certain retail outlets. Yeah. And this one is called Castaic Choice. Yep. Lake Castaic in California is where the name comes from. But it's kind of a green pumpkin, a darker, olive green with a little bit of brown and a little bit of almost black. Okay. So it's like the color progresses throughout this worm. And when things get really tough or it's a little bit darker, the water has a little more color to it. Kind of a hard luck bait. And my watermelon red is not doing what it's supposed to do. Castaic Choice Zoom 4-inch finesse worm. You heard it here first.
Okay,
folks.
There it is, folks.
Nice. What about you?
But I don't catch 5-pound smallmouth like Hedrick, so I don't know.
I'm a hula grub guy when it comes to that.
That's a hell of a bait too.
And I like a Ned rig, a small Ned rig.
Oh yeah.
In a California crawl color. And I also like the watermelon red. You can't hardly beat watermelon green pumpkin.
All right, Rich. Now you got to hold up your end of the deal.
Here we go for trout. A little over 30, maybe 35 years ago, I read an article in Field and Stream that said you can catch trout with bass baits, and I thought, well, I don't know how long people have been doing this, but it was like, okay, here, this is brand new. Way back then, I tried it, and boom, boom. So my go-to now is a number 7 silver shad wrap, shallow runner, and I cut the treble hooks, the belly hooks off all mine. It's just something to get hung up. Most of your strikes come on the tails, and it's a getter, and I used a deep runner for years until Mark Hedrick showed me a little shallow runner with an L-shaped lip on it.
It's poison on everything. You can catch white bass, trout.
You know what? The first time Mark and I met, we went white bass fishing. You know what we used to catch? I don't know, however many 40 or 50 fish we caught that day.
Hedrick minnow.
Number 7 shad wrap.
There you go.
On a shad wrap rod. I need to let you take my shad wrap rod down and trout fish with it. It's a 7-foot. It's a heavy rod. I mean, it's not light, but it's made of all fiberglass. Mark Davis, Brenda Rollins made shad wrap rods for Mark Davis many years ago. And we'd go fish Ouachita and just wear the bass out. 6-pound test, number 7 shad wrap, and it was a deep runner. And I just started using that shallow runner. And the nice thing about a good rod that has a lot of tip, when something like that hits, you don't have to set the hook. They do it themselves. It's got so much tip, they just turn on it. And with you using just a single hook on the back, a lot of times I've seen.
When I fish in a trophy area,
you'll just put a single.
I put a single barbus on the tail, and
it works
nothing
great.
Wrong with that.
It
works great.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
So the thing is brown trout are apex predators. They just are a lot like a largemouth bass, and they all eat pretty much the same thing.
And they eat they eat bugs and things like that off the surface and off the riverbed, but they're vicious. Very piscivorous.
That's right. Well, good word.
No doubt.
Thank you very much.
But
practicing for Morning Mayhem, I got to get them with 1 or 2 words every Wednesday morning. So
I was out at Maumelle the other day and noticed that the bugs are starting to hatch, which you and I have seen that before, where you get on the road beds and the humps and you'll think it's shad, but it's
so many bugs coming up.
It's those little pre-emergents, and a lot of times they'll be on the surface and they're kind of split open where they've already emerged, but the shad will get in and follow those because they're eating them. And then of course the brim and the crappie and the blacks and everything else, and the white bass years ago, before there were so many shad in the lake, you could cut a white bass open if you chose to eat one, and they'd just be full of them.
Speaking of shad, you talked to Justin Homan from Arkansas Game and Fish.
Exactly. They put 90 pounds of adult shad in the nursery pond in March. So those have probably spawned 3-4 times already. and he'll be on our show.
That's what I was going to kind of
Talk
teeing
about
that
it.
up. Yeah, 2 weeks from tonight, I
2
believe,
weeks from
right?
tonight. You'll be out next week. And
we've been talking. We'll be out next week about. We do a lot of talking about Lake Maumelle. Of course, it's Mark is. I tell people the Maharaja of Maumelle.
He is.
But we've see in our tournament reports. There's been some good catches. We want to see. What do the data say? And Justin hopefully going to bring some
He's
of that.
The man. He's
talk
the man.
about what their surveys are showing, if the science backs up what our eyes are telling us. So anyway, it's been a fun time. Rich Cosgrove, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Rich.
Great, guys.
For Damon Poole and Mark Hedrick and Rich Cosgrove, I'm Trey Reid. Talk to you next time on The Wild Side.
See you.